And we are live. Welcome to the stream. Got two special guests with me today. I've got Crypto Boomer and Bull Run Blackmore again. Welcome back to the stream, guys.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me again.
Cheers. My pleasure.
So, this stream we're going to talk through what's happening at the moment in the crypto markets, what's happening with the alts, and we're going to specifically cover MATIC, CEL, and the fantastic DOGE coin. So what are you guys buying at the moment, if anything, in this market?
I went back into Cardano today. I got a little just to get a position on it, basically. I took profit on it, and then I actually used some of that to go into MATIC. Funnily enough, somebody advised me to get into MATIC, and no names. But no, so yeah, I've gone back into that and see what happens. That's about it at the moment.
Just a quick question on that. Did you exit your full position in Cardano?
Like an idiot. Like an idiot. Yes, I did.
And then you FOMO'd back in?
Yeah. Schoolboy error, big time.
Yeah. It's all right. We
because I was like, so I'd originally got into Cardano when it was like 30p or something, and so going back in and paying £1.18 or whatever it was per adder was a killer. I was like, oh, this sucks.
I certainly didn't advise you to take your full amount out.
You didn't, to be fair.
Yeah,
I was getting frustrated, and I was like, "Come on, what's happening?" And he's like, "It's all about MATIC, mate. Get into Polygon."
So it is.
And I was like, "Right, 4 more. Oh, take my Cardano, put it in."
Trust me, it is. Did you leave any of your Polygon MATIC stack?
Yeah, mate. I went and did like some decent money in it, and it's returning already quite nicely. Thank you.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, he was panicking the other day. It's like, hey, Cardano's going up and Mike's going down.
It's always the way, isn't it? We've advised like against doing that, and I went and did exactly that. So
it's hard, mate.
I know.
I did it myself with Bake. I just jumped into it at 187 a few months ago, and it went down to like 120.
Yeah.
I was thinking, maybe that was a mistake. So I sold it, went into something else, and then Bake's on like $5.
Didn't I see you go into some? You haven't bought SHIB, have you? Is that?
Yeah.
Did I see? Yeah. Oh, mate, I knew it was you. I was like, no, my boy's going into that. What is he doing?
Yeah. So what I've been buying is the Polygon MATIC. That's base. So I took a loan from Celsius. I've basically put 95% of it into Polygon MATIC over the last week. Put that back in the Celsius app, and that's going to generate me kind of like
it's nice, isn't it?
4 or 5 times the interest, which is really good. And
what
that
percentage
gets me?
Is it 16%, something like that?
No, it's I think so. 17%, pretty much.
It's a good yield on Celsius, isn't it? MATIC.
Yeah, and I mean, is that MATIC on screen?
Yeah.
So what's that trading at right now?
It is currently 94 cents.
Yeah. So I've been averaging into that around between like 74 and 82 cents. So that means it's already like 10% up, which means I'm already, for all of that to my Celsius app, I'm already earning more interest than what my collateral would have made me. So MATIC's got quite a big buyback wall on the interest, and it's just nice seeing it come in every week. So that's why I've been topping up MATIC, as many other reasons as why I like the project, not just the interest. And then also, I bought SHIB for a laugh, or SHIB. I don't even know what it's called. I just saw it on Twitter, and I was like, "Well, Dogecoin's gone pop. There's no way I was ever buying that." So is that
what? Is that what the Doge profits are going into? Do you think SHIB?
Yeah, I think so. But the best thing is, like, I said to this guy, I was like, convince me it's not just another meme coin, and I'll buy some. So then he sent me like loads of tweets saying these different things. I was like, okay, it's definitely better than Doge a little bit, so I'll just get some to see what happens.
Yeah.
But I think it's obviously a deflationary coin, and I think I saw something about a DEX. So imagine like SushiSwap or Uniswap. So apparently we're going to have like a Shiba DEX, which if Shiba is the token for the DEX and it gets used, it'll go crazy, especially if it's got deflationary mechanic as well. So I thought it's probably worth a gamble.
Is it even got a market cap yet?
Nah, it only got released. It got released on Binance yesterday. Actually, I'm already down as well.
That'll teach you.
I know.
We've all popped up this week.
Yeah, it's nothing that. Look, it's consolidating. It's ready to go.
Zoom out.
Yeah. It's probably just another scam coin, but what is that? 38,000.
Yeah, 38,000.
I didn't realise it was that high up. I should have done my research.
Some things on Twitter though, they really make you FOMO in. I think I saw something about this Shiba, and it was someone invested. Was it $500 and now it's worth like $1 million or something? And
Exactly.
They just make you kind of think, oh shit, I need to get in it. But
well, you just need to put something in it like you don't care about losing. So I did the same. I actually put $500 in. It was like off my the last part of a loan. I was like, oh whatever, I'll gamble it. Yeah, I didn't look at the graph like you. So I'll wait. I'll wait.
If you go back to MATIC then, or Polygon.
Yeah.
So the price it's at now, I think it said it was 10% below the all-time high.
But that's a good sign.
So
that's a good sign.
Would you say it's too late to get into this now?
Or is this accumulation?
Is it still got time?
It's not too late. One of the things I've been looking at when I've been looking at like coins is that 12, like that 1 year percentage increase. See, that's only 6,000%. Well, a lot of coins that have been doing well go through a period of getting to like 12, 15,000% in the last year on that like 1 year indicator. So when you start to see it get to around like a 10, 15,000% in a year level, then you definitely want to be taking profits. Quite a good indicator, especially for a decent project. Like if you look at Doge, something like 23,000, 25,000% up in here. What at least it was last week, but if you have a look.
Incredible.
Can't believe it's number 5. It was number 3 at one point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, 20,000, right? And that's a shit project. It's a dead project. It's just a fucking laugh. So it's just like
hasn't nothing happened to that project for like 4 years or something mental.
Yeah, I have seen rumours.
No
that
one's been working on it.
Happen. Yeah, I think something started happening again on it. I don't know if it's just rumours or like on Twitter or what. But
it doesn't mine so many coins daily.
Yeah, it's like a infinity supply of like some ridiculous amount of money every day. And the thing is, you get all of like the market's so dumb. So if you experienced the previous like bull run, which I did, but speaking to some people like the Moon Gang and stuff, they were like basically all of these shit coins like Doge. When the masses start paying attention to Bitcoin, everybody just looks at what they can make money on and see Doge at like a couple of cents.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, well, if that goes up by 10 cents, I've made 5x my money. So everybody starts piling in. Whereas all the smart people are like, we know for a fact some celebrities are going to tweet Doge for a laugh, and then the masses are going to follow on and buy it. So if you put like £500 in, or like 500 quid in like a year ago, well, you'd have 20,000% of whatever your £500 was, and if you got it at the peak there, like it's probably about 25,000%. Just something ridiculous. So
and on the
people
coins,
don't realise that.
On the majority held by only a handful of very wealthy people. So like there's some big whales in Dogecoin, so they can manipulate that market massively.
Oh yeah,
they can just dump on people and completely wreck them whenever.
Yeah, like the amount. Yeah, they do, mate. So like, if you put £500 in last year, and you sold to that peak, you'd have got 125 grand.
Yeah. A lot of people point to this as well. So because it's on April Fool's Day, a lot of people were buying Doge, just because it's a joke. And if you look at the price on April Fool's Day, 5 cents, and then it went up, to the all-time high, 73 cents. It's ridiculous. What's that? More than a 10x.
I'm surprised it hasn't hit $1 yet. I really am. I thought that it would with old Saturday Night Live and all that hype, massive hype around that. So
it's really hard for it to hit $1 because of how high the market cap would go and the amount of volume going through and the amount of people selling from the bear market. But I do think we'll see a Doge hit $1 later this year. Like,
yeah, I'm with you.
I'm not going to put money in it because I wouldn't dare put money in just to try and get a 0.5 X.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look there.
It's shocking, isn't
The
it?
market cap is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just goes to show how like daft the market is this year. I'm sure it was like the same in the previous cycle, but
I swear to God, you're right. People look at that and go, look at the difference in that price from Bitcoin, and imagine how much money I'll make when it hits Bitcoin's price.
Yeah, exactly. Because like most people, when they start off with crypto, they've never invested in their life. They don't understand market cap, volume, trends, price. And same with Cardano. Like, and Cardano was like a few cents. The amount of people and XRP as well. The amount of people who buy it, who speak, like even when I was getting into crypto, I was like, "Oh, have you got any XRP?" I was like, "No, why?" He was like, "Oh, well, it's only 12 cents. If it goes up to $1, it's like fair enough." I was like, "But like for me, I don't look at projects like that." I mean, for Cardano, like I found it hard to buy Cardano at 5, 6 cents, like 10 cents.
And I've just paid £1.18 cheers for that, Blackie.
Eh?
And I've just paid $1.18. Thanks, mate.
I did my research on it. I listened to the people. They had awards for like the best blockchain technology and development and stuff. But I knew it wasn't doing anything. Like I knew it wasn't live. Like Ethereum, it didn't have projects built on it. So I was like, well, I have no idea if it'll go big or not this cycle. But it does seem like it can be really good. So I took a Celsius loan. I put a couple of $1,000 in. 1,000 last summer, and then another like 1,600 kind of like September time, and basically made like 10, 12x off that, and then I sold 80% of it, paid off a loan, put the profits into Aave to earn me higher interest on CEL, and that's it, left it, and I haven't touched the 20% that I left in it because I'm just gonna leave that there to generate interest, and I don't know, maybe look at it again in 2025 or 2030.
Yeah.
So good projects always leave like 20% of your stack in, no matter what.
Yeah.
Do you want to go on to CEL then? Because we've got
Speaking of good projects,
we've got a few a few in the chat here.
Pump that bag.
Celsians assemble.
Yeah, got a one here.
Huawei Global are going to announce a new token.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it could be. I know we've got OKEX, recent exchange, but I do know they are focusing on the Asian markets, so it definitely could be Huobi. I know that was our hopes for the previous exchange release, so there is a good chance of that. I do hope it is. I have to admit, Celsius are doing quite a good job at getting their token listed across exchanges now.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of them.
Yeah.
But Binance don't want to list them.
Has he got beef, CZ and Alex? Is it something to do with that?
Yeah, I think they do, yeah. But Celsius have requested more than once, and it's been rejected. It's probably got a couple of things to do with why it's been rejected, most likely because Celsius probably aren't prepared to pay millions and millions for a listing fee. And obviously Binance are greedy as hell, as you could
They
tell
look-
from the.
They
Did you
list
see
so
that?
many- so
Did
many
you see
shit
that
coins.
tweet I put out there from 2018? CZ, we're never going to list shit coins. Blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, mate, you got Doge and sheep.
Yeah, anything that's going to make them loads of money for them, they're going to list.
Is Cumrocket on Binance yet?
I think it's on a Dex. But it's probably on the Binance Smart Chain.
Yeah. So, last time you were on, you said, and I uploaded the video of the clip. We said fair value at the moment between $7 and $10.
Nailed it.
So that's where we
Yeah,
are.
it's true. And I still do think we're a bit under our fair value price, which is a good thing because that means we can get more for the long term. But it's also just quite an interesting dynamic. It's like trickle tokenomics, because obviously it was not a very well known project in the bear market. It just gave a lot of people a long time to accumulate, which just naturally takes a long time to shake them out. Some of these whales don't even have the tokens on Celsius. When it hits a certain price point, they just send it to uni and they just dump straight away, 100% stack out. So, it's progressive. I think once we get past $10, we might have shaken a lot of them out. The ones who are only here to get, a full-on stack out.
They'll become sellionaires.
Well, exactly. I mean, some of them are going to have that much that does it even make sense to sell your full stack if you can earn ridiculous amounts of interest off it, especially if you're like earning millions of dollars of interest a year. They might only want to sell, say, 10-20% of it in stable coins.
Like you say, though, a lot of people, if they got in at $1, they've done a 10x to $10, then that'll be the exit for them.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like you say, on the other hand, they'd be better leaving some in just to get that weekly interest.
Yeah, plus, it's for me, Celsius represents something slightly different to the rest of the space. So there's a lot of good projects with good dynamics, but ultimately, which projects are still going to be here in 10 years' time? If those are the ones where I want my tokens, because a lot of people are just entering the market to try and make life-changing money in a really short space of time. It's absolutely fine; it can be done, but it's not that easy to do when you're getting in the early phases of the bull run or the middle of the bull run. You have to be stacking every week or every month during the entirety of the bear market.
Some of the rewards with the weekly sell rewards are just astronomical. They blow my mind. Like I see them posted online. I'm like, God, how much money must you have in Celsius to be getting like $1,000 a week or whatever?
Yeah,
I'm there with my like 20 quid a week, thinking, yeah, this is good.
Yeah, but it is. It is, isn't it? Your bank doesn't give you 20 quid a week. Maybe 20 quid every 10 years.
So how sustainable is that when a company like Celsius is giving so much money into to the customers? I mean, weekly.
Perfectly sustainable, just because they are the only business in the space which has an operating model that is designed to be sustainable. And that's why they don't always have the highest interest rate on every asset, because they're only going to pay what they make, or blend it so that certain coins have the highest rates for the more popular ones.
Is it right? Is it 80% profits back to the user?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I doubt it's bang on every week. In the past, it's been less or it's been higher. I mean, they've got a business to run which is rapidly growing. But essentially, what it means is that in the long run, when we're talking a 10-year time frame, BlockFi and Gemini and all the rest of it, for how many years are their investors going to keep subsidizing their interest rates? And same with like Crypto.com and Swissborg and all of them that pay high interest rates. They're able to do that because they're also subsidizing the rates, and that's why generally Celsius have the highest interest rates over a longer period of time, because they're always only paying what they can generate on the yield, and it's 80%. People don't realize this. Like, you get pump chasers and you get rate chasers, and people just who move the crypto around all the time to get the best rates.
Chasing the rate. Just on that, someone, was it quite a famous person, has put their money back into CEL after they'd left for BlockFi? Is that, did I see that right?
Have you seen that Going Parabolic Twitter profile?
Yeah, I think it's...
So there's been lots of memes on it because him and Pomp have invested like equity as a startup on BlockFi. So they've been promoting it for like the last 2 years. And obviously there's always been really stiff competition between the two. And it's always like, well, we pay 80%, BlockFi are subsidizing it and then using a high risk business model for the grayscale trades, which is what we've seen. And obviously they dropped all of the interest rates massively for all of the larger holders because they were losing money. So he isn't allowed to say he's using Celsius because obviously he's invested in BlockFi. So what he's been doing is he's been depositing like 95 Bitcoin in one hit and then like showing the Celsius like print screen of the deposit page.
That's what I saw.
Yeah. So he's I mean he's a bit of a troll. It's funny. And there's loads of memes from it. But last night, this guy.
Here we go. I mean, that is blatantly a CEL.
Oh, he's pinned it as well. He's pinned the tweet.
There you go. I saw that and I was like, that's in CEL. In Celsius.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't pick up on that first.
There you go.
Imagine that, just being able to throw 5 million around.
Yeah.
Last night there was
It's the 97 Bitcoin.
a transaction of something like $463 million of ETH deposited into Celsius.
Yeah.
Like just on one transaction.
There's more ETH in Celsius than Bitcoin now, isn't there?
Yeah, it's flipped it. In terms of dollar value, yeah. And I think that will continue to be the case. As ETH's probably going to outperform Bitcoin in percentage terms this cycle.
It's just monstrous at the moment, isn't it? No slowing down.
Nah, it's good. It's good to see, and it's because of the growth of DeFi and like everybody just wants to lock down two tokens, irrespective of the impermanent loss risk, and just earn fees on it every week. And especially these millionaires who maybe don't want to put it on platforms, don't want to do it themselves. They'll put it in liquidity pools. I mean, they've been making loads every week of like ETH pairings with other things. So there's a massive like the DeFi has a huge supply driver on like the demand supply of Ethereum. So the DeFi is literally locking down all of the supply. And then obviously more and more people are using DeFi as well. So it's going to have a good effect. I mean, that has a good effect on all of the ERC20 tokens as well.
I saw that. There's something about that most of the Ethereum tokens are now locked in DeFi.
Yeah.
Like you said, people are just using it, aren't they, to work for them, make them money.
Exactly, you may as well. Especially when millions of people are starting to move into the space.
Yeah.
And the MATIC is a really good one. We'll come back to that after this.
Yep.
So like
got a chat here.
Because it's fun. I've never had so much money to throw around.
Got to do something with it.
Yeah, it's the one sell bet. It's just a good laugh, isn't it?
So what's interesting here, I think, is you're the second to
bottom.
Second to bottom on the most conservative kind
Why
of.
so bearish?
Well, I've put out a lot of bets recently. I want to make sure I win one.
So I mean, that's between what you said on here last time. You said between 30 and 50.
Yeah.
45.
So I think when crypto runs, it runs quick. But in my head, if we hit a peak, whatever that peak might be, we can easily have a 30 to 50% correction of the peak within a short space of time. Yeah. Especially if it's like the end of the bull run. So I was just like, well, what would I be happy with? Well, more than I'd be happy with like $20 to be honest. Mm-hmm. But in terms of where I think it could go, and stuff we've talked about without trying to get carried away with the possible network effects and speculation of beyond the investment round. $45 on the maths on some of the models that we've done is it's got quite a good chance of happening. So the $25 price call which Josh has put, like he said himself, is always conservative and bearish.
Yeah.
There was something like a 95% chance that we will hit $25. So like, if that doesn't happen, the world's gone wrong. Like, I can't see how that just doesn't happen this year.
So $25 is like locked in, pretty much. Like,
yeah, like the market. If you like, the market belief of the absolute bare minimum should be $25. So $45. It's like, well, if it's 90% to get $25, it's kind of 50%, 50% to reach 45. That's the way I've looked at it. And although I do believe in like CEL 100, it's a bet and I want to win and I want to keep myself realistic, because if people have like CEL 100 in their heads and that's all they're focused on, if the cycle of the Bitcoin market cycle finishes before we get there, then you're not going to hit it. It's not just about the altcoin targets. It's about Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardano and DOT and MATIC, and all of these are going to steal market cap off each other throughout the year.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to like my target is like $30 to $50, which is like more than realistic. So then anything beyond that for all of these higher estimates, like for me, it's a bonus. And I do think like some of these guys, are really smart, and Ortiz is like an OG. He's been in it from the start. Zach, he worked inside Celsius and he's gone for 200.
Yeah, I was going to say, does he work for CEL?
Yeah, he's the community manager. So I don't know why.
That's really interesting. Yeah, inside info. He knows what's coming.
Yeah, maybe he's doing it for a laugh, or maybe he from what he knows, he can't see why that's not a good possibility.
You're right, though. People have got a figure in their head for every token, haven't they? And if CEL 100 is the popular one, it's like, ETH at 10K, Bitcoin 100K, whatever it is, there's going to be big sell-offs when these tokens hit those prices.
There will be, and there's also like the market cycles as well. So CEL like ran first out of the altcoins at the start of this year. Then because of that, because it ran first, when everything else started running, all of the people who've made loads of profits on that run, like there's about 1,000 other coins which haven't moved yet, and they're going to. And so all of these people who chase the pumps, all the smarter ones put the money in before the pump comes.
Yeah.
So, and I've learnt this because if I moved my not small, but if I moved like a nice chunk of money I made in December and moved that and multiplied it by like 10 or 12x, I would have had over $4 million. I've obviously like 10% of that or something because I didn't do that move, which would have been moving CEL to Cardano.
Yeah.
But you can only know that in hindsight. But then when you start looking at all of the different graphs, you realise that almost every single one puts in the same graph, but within a week or two, like variation for like from January through to like May. Everything does it, even the shitcoins.
Yeah, this is why you shouldn't keep FOMOing from one to the other, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which a lot of people just keep doing, like you said, they just keep chasing the pump and going from oh, this is pumping, quick, get into it, then that stops. Oh, quick, this one is put into that, and you're not actually making much because you just keep.
No, you're only making small amounts.
Getting at the top every time.
Yeah, you need to be in before that pump, don't you?
Yeah, so you have to really have that confidence to be like, right, well, I've made this much profit here. I'm going to take 20% out and put it in this cool project that I think could do well that hasn't done anything yet. That's the way you have to do it. But to have that confidence, especially when it's your first time in the markets of a bull run, so it's quite hard to do. So I've avoided it because I don't want to risk.
Like you say, it's easier to hodl, but you will make more doing exactly what you've just said.
If you execute it right,
If you execute it right.
And that's the thing. Not everybody can execute it right. Because by the time you hear of something that's good, usually
it's
the reason
already
you
gone.
hear about it,
Already
exactly,
gone.
yeah.
So I mean, if you look at get rid of that. So if you look at the market caps, obviously, Ethereum is fast approaching $500 million.
Is it
Then
only
you look at
2x away from Bitcoin now? It's roughly that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not far off.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
But then
Yeah, Ethereum will get to a billion this year.
But it won't flip. I can't see it flipping Bitcoin.
No, it won't. Not this cycle anyway. Maybe in one of the next two. Because it's got more tokens and it's going to have more use on the chain. Even MATIC. So I reckon the MATIC top anywhere between $8 and $15 this year. But I mean that's my top projection. For the summer, I'm hoping for $3, maybe as high as $5, but my target's kind of like $2 and $3 for taking some profits. And that's because of you've got RFA, which has moved onto the MATIC chain, and Band Protocol, Curve, like all of these DeFi platforms. People are now trading on it, and you can do like 10 trades or something, or 100 trades or something with like one MATIC token for gas fees. So what we're going to have is the adoption and usage of MATIC is going to go up. There's only 0.8 million MATIC left on exchanges, which is nothing. And as MATIC goes up the next 2-3 months, not only are we going to get a price spike from the equity round for Celsius, but we're also going to have the buyback mechanic of MATIC itself. So the amount of people who've been buying MATIC now and previously, all the way back from like 2 cents and storing it in Celsius, that 17% interest has a massive effect on the flywheel. So if MATIC goes 3 to 4x in the next 2 months, then that interest for the CEL token buybacks and MATIC alone has gone up 4x. And then the CEL landing in the wallet then generates 4% or whatever on itself.
Yeah.
And then you've got the equity round, the mega news, the main investor all coming in like June or July.
Yeah.
And then you can pay for the equity if you buy CEL tokens on the market. And then those CEL tokens get locked in the treasury, not sold instantly. So, we've got like loads of like.
It's like a match made in heaven, that, isn't it?
It is, mate. RV, MATIC, and CEL are like my little dream triangle, the little dream team, because they all complement each other, and they're all within like the same kind of ecosystems.
So does MATIC, does that what is it? What does it do? Is it helping the Ethereum network?
It did more transactions in a second than Ethereum last week.
Right.
It's like it's doing like basically if all of that usage was still on Ethereum, the gas fees would probably be like double or triple what they are right now.
Well, they're really high now, aren't they? They've gone back up again.
Yeah.
People are crying again.
Yeah, because of the price spike. But so MATIC's the side chain of Ethereum, but MATIC can be at the moment it's only on Ethereum, but they can use that technology to be deployed and scale any blockchain. So Polkadot, Cardano, if they need additional scalability, it has that option. And then in the long term, they want to be the internet of blockchains. And given the fact that they're already so well used, that's certainly a good potential that it could beat DOT to being able to do that. And also, once you get your tokens from Ethereum and bridged across to the MATIC network, you've got a completely new. Imagine DeFi. It's been used on like Binance Chain, etc. It's just DeFi, exact same thing. DeFi, decentralized protocols, farms, aggregators, all of that stuff springing up on Polygon. And if you use the DEXs to do trading, the gas fees you're charging to do a trade are paid in MATIC and not in Ethereum. And so because it's on the side chain and it's faster and cheaper, once you're in that system, you can just do all of your trading there all year on the DEXs, and then just take all of your profits out at the back end of the year. So then you're only paying a gas fee of ETH on the way in and on the way out.
Not for all the transactions.
Yeah.
In between.
exactly. And so if you saw the quick token price, that was an example of of the usage and demand happening on the chain, reflecting the price surge.
So
And
is it similar
RA
to
went
the
up as well.
is it similar to the Binance Smart Chain then, BSC, or
Yeah, basically, yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, Binance, I think it's its own chain, no, it's not a side chain.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
Matic's like a side chain, it's like on the
That
side
could,
of Ethereum.
that
And
can jump. That can jump between. Like it can
Can't,
go, like you say, it can go to Cardano, it could go to
yeah,
Polkadot.
it can't go there yet, but like,
Not yet. Okay.
but the fact that it's actually like, it does more, so it's basically, on some days, it's basically doing like more transactions than Ethereum and Cardano and DOT. Like, it's doing more than all of them.
That's
And
mental.
if you see how far down the list it is in terms of market cap, like it's doing more than any of them, and it's cheaper to use, and people are starting to realize that and adopt it.
Right.
So it's just a matter of time, like, and you get really good staking rewards because it's quite an early blockchain. So we still have a lot of supply locked away for staking rewards, etc. So I think the supply went from something like 30 billion on exchanges last month
To 0.8.
0.8 million, not 0.8 million, like less than a million, like on exchanges. it's bonkers.
Binance
then-
Smart Chain is the home of shitcoins.
It is, mate. It is.
There's tons and
Well,
tons of new ones.
who are the easiest people to fool for shitcoins? The people who have the least money, people who aren't invested. Yeah. So if it's going to cost you $50 to do a trade on Uniswap for a shitcoin, you're not going to do it, are you?
No. That's
If
why
you-
they're winning. That's what
Yeah.
it tapped into. That's
It
what
is.
it tapped into.
So you would, because all people who want shitcoins were basically gambling. So it's like 50 quid here, 100 quid there, 5 pence or whatever to get it. It makes sense. You're not going to do that on Ethereum, even though there is shitcoins on Ethereum. It feels like there's less of them in this market.
How many times have you heard people say, "Oh, I'm not buying Bitcoin; it's too expensive. I'm not buying Ethereum; it's too expensive." Like you said, you just said, like the fees. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. You're right. They've tapped into a market where it's just the people that want to chuck a tenner on, chuck 50 quid on, and they don't want a gas fee of 40 quid to move 50.
Exactly, and all of these dexes, I imagine a lot of them are actually sponsored or invested by Binance themselves. Like Pancake and Bake. It wouldn't surprise me if Binance have money in those actual dexes. I mean,
There you go.
Binance make a fucking shitload of money.
So this is BSC. This is everything that's on the chain.
Yeah. And this is the ones that are kind of on all these Telegram groups. They all get pumped and dumped. Yeah, and they tell you at what time to invest and what time to get out, basically.
And does it work if you invest at that time?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I've seen evidence of
Seen one.
Yeah, of it going up at a specific time.
I think it lasts for about 45 minutes, an hour, and then it's everyone gets out.
It's so dodgy.
See, I think something's going to come from all this.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there's going to.
Sorry, go on.
There's going to be. So yeah, I was just going to say there's going to be government intervention at some point.
It's just a form of gambling, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
All shit coins, but a lot of people just don't have a clue and just like, oh yeah, I'll stick my savings in that. Sounds good.
The thing is, people just scroll down here. They look at something with a really low market cap, and then they just chuck the money in, or they'll see like a big YouTuber. I did this on one of my other videos, and I actually looked at it. BitBoy.
Oh god, yeah.
So I looked at
I
looked at one of his videos, and I can't remember which specific coin it was, but he said to buy it, and then if you look on a chart at the time he released the video, it shoots up, and then it dumps like a few days later. So he's just shilling it, taking profits, and then moving on to the next one. But he'll get money. He'll get money for shilling it, and then he'll get money for what he's bought prior to the video. But
Yeah, he's got to be careful doing that.
Do you think Bitcoin dominance is going to go to record lows because of how many altcoins we now have? Because it's so the space is now so diluted. It's mental. There's just so much.
Yeah, there's there's too much. I mean, I don't think Bitcoin's own cycles and price points and targets will be changed because we've got institutional money, public government money, bank money,
Facebook apparently.
Money. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, possibly. So we've got all this money that's going to come in, but in terms of its dominance, it might. I wouldn't not expect it to not do a record low. It won't stay down. That's what I think. But
the low
when it's at its record low, it's probably the best time to be buying Bitcoin.
Yeah,
it is.
Agree.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's the sign that it's going to go back up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the problem a lot of people don't learn is that when something goes high, you don't buy it. When something's just kind of chilling and going along, that's when you buy it because no one's paying attention. And then you're the person that's kind of, you're the person that's laughing when it goes up because you bought low. But people don't realise that. If it's pumped, you're too late, basically.
Yeah, people don't. I mean, they can make a little bit of quick money, but ultimately, you want to be ahead of the herd.
Game. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's quite easy, but it's like you have to have 100% confidence that that when you put your money in this token, that it's going to go up at some point. If you don't, and it's really, really hard to do that because so it's like the dip that happened yesterday. I was like, get in there, buy some more MATIC.
Yeah, you're happy about the dip, whereas other people are like screaming at you, going, "Blackie, why is this going down?"
Yeah, like you, yeah.
Direct
just a little loss, go back into Cardano.
Private messaging him, why have you told me to do this?
Yeah, fucking noob. But it is like I was looking at it. I could like it got down to like wherever it got to 8 cents or 75 cents. Even I was thinking, do I buy some more? It might go down further. Not that it might not go back up. But the first time you start doing it, because you see red, and red's a danger colour, green's good. So when you see red in the markets, your automatically fear is like, because it's like instant gratification, you don't want to buy a token and then see it instantly go red. Yeah, it's just in your head. But
I use
really
red for shopping days now.
Yeah, you have to, mate. You have to.
For newbies. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Just a traffic light system, isn't it? We're kind of in this phase as well, where we're just getting a lot of coins kind of like consolidate up and down. So it's really easy to sell on a green and buy on a red. But when Bitcoin goes again, it's going to be really, really hard to get like a decent red day. So if you think back to October to March, like fuck me, I couldn't even like think of a red day like during that time period. Like you literally have to be prepared to buy on the green and not see a red. But it's very different market conditions. So when ETH sets its like price targets for summer of $5,000, I think is the market expectations, maybe a little bit more. When that cools off and the alts cool off, that money's going to flow back into Bitcoin. Bitcoin to 80k probably end of July, big dip. And then what happens is that dips, everything else dips, it comes back up, then all the alts come back and go past it in terms of like the behavior. So yeah, you just gotta buy the corrections basically.
Yeah.
If it, like if the price has been moved, say we've been getting a dip every Monday, but the price has been going up, then we haven't had a correction.
Yeah.
Like haven't had a correction. So when Bitcoin got to 62. And then it came down 25%. That is the buy point. And then it went back up to 64.
I'm pretty sure you called that. I'm pretty sure you called that. I think
I got that one right. I got a few. I got that one right.
Because I remember seeing you call that, and because I was ready to buy Bitcoin, and then I held off, and I got in I got some more at such a good deal, and
Yeah.
I honestly remember you saying that it could go down there, and it went around it.
Yeah, 'cause
I think
I did like
50k is the new bottom for Bitcoin. I'm saying it now,
Yeah.
man. I honestly
It
think
is.
50k feels like that's the bottom where Bitcoin will not go again.
Yeah, it's the 1 trillion market cap point. So now it's become a 1 trillion asset class, and the confidence is there. The new buyers are entering at that market
Yeah.
cap.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's dipped below it once and got back. So yeah, I agree with you. If you look at the data, I was speaking to Plan C on a stream last week. First stream I've ever done with him. Interesting one. But he was basically just talking about all of the indicators. He's got a massive spreadsheet. And he's looking at the indicators that basically show the amount of like volume and Bitcoin that's exchanging hands in this point.
Yeah.
It will basically this is going to be the floor potentially of the next bear market. So
Yeah.
like,
You can see the support for Bitcoin. So when it starts to dip anywhere near low 50, people are smashing into it to buy it up.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't hang around there for long at all.
Yeah.
It's like milliseconds. You have to have limit orders in and just hope you catch the.
This is why
trigger
I
now.
think it'll never go. You know, people say, "Oh, it could go to zero." It won't, because there's always going to be people that go crazy on it when it's on sale.
Yeah.
They just because people that know, they know.
Yeah.
they know where it's going.
Yeah, and it like when I speak to somebody these days and they like say Ponzi scheme or what uses too much energy or it's bad for the environment, I just
The
stop talking to
energy.
them. I don't even have the time to like
The
smash
energy
the
thing
foot on
does my
Bitcoin.
head in, because that was
Yeah.
one of the latest things that came out, and I saw Sailor tweet about it as well. It uses so much less energy and recyclable energy. I think it's like 70-80% recyclable.
Is it?
Um, yeah, and
Yeah,
there's going to be new. Go on.
Can I ask Blackie what your thoughts are on this? I believe you spoke about it before. Argo blockchain.
yeah.
So it's the only
So
crypto-related thing on the stock market in the UK.
yeah, it's the Bitcoin mining company in North America that Celsius Network have partnered. So I believe we're going to see between £5 and £10 stock price on this, directly tied to the Bitcoin market cycle. Not directly, but like quite like very very closely.
So do you
What
think
we're at now,
what?
150.
So you thinking end of year?
Yeah. Like if you imagine if Bitcoin gets up to I don't know $200,000, it's when 5x. Their value of the company's just gone up 5x minimum, just based on what they mine or store. So I mean that looks like a good for me. So that dip there, and then it's dipping again. But then it looks like it's just testing the support, a bit like what Bitcoin's doing right now in its own price. So if you bought near the top, it behaves a bit differently for stocks because it's like Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
I don't track them very much, but like Bitcoin goes 5-10% of the day. It's dead obvious and easy to read. But like with Argo, it was hanging every time I checked, it was hanging around like £2 for ages or £2.30, and then suddenly it just like fell when Bitcoin had its dip. So it definitely follows the same, but it definitely is a bit harder to time the buy. It doesn't go up and down as easy. But 150, yeah. I mean,
I'm going to say, going off what Bitcoin's doing, that'd be a good entry point, do you think, for Argo now?
it is. Yeah, it's settling down. I got all my friends, some of them, well, not all of them, but most of them have a little bit of arb. We got in around like under £1 and over £1.
Yeah.
I bought a bit more myself at £2.30. So that buys down, but I'm not worried. Like if you believe in Bitcoin,
And you believe in that, wouldn't you?
yeah, if you can't believe in one of the best mining companies in the world that even do like community paid subscriptions, so like you can pay a subscription towards like community Bitcoin mining. I mean, I think you get like a percentage of the profits. So like, and I've looked at the team, and the team are from all different industries. Like you've even got somebody on the directors team from like leisure and tourism.
Right.
So not even related to blockchain, but all of these people from all of these different industries have come together because they believe in Bitcoin and the mining process and how they can do it green and all the rest of it. So yeah, I think it's a really good company. And Celsius are partnered with it, and Alex wouldn't partner with a shit Bitcoin mining company.
So obviously, in the bear market, obviously we were saying before about expect Bitcoin to get up to a certain level. They say 100k is like that on the stock to flow ratio, but obviously it'll go above that.
Yeah,
Drops down to 50k. Does this follow the same kind of process then? Do you think where it goes up as Bitcoin goes up, then in the bear market does it drop down to around this level again?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, before buying any, I just looked at all. Well, I looked at like 3 or 4 other Bitcoin mining companies that were here on the previous cycle, and honestly, the share price just like trundles along. And then like when it went crazy that 3 months,
Yeah,
literally the share prices just like go up by 5x, and a month later come down.
it's parabolic.
Yeah. So I don't see why we're not going to see that again this cycle. It's so closely related to the Bitcoin price and their stocks.
What annoys me, though, really annoys me, is where you've got the market cycles, the 4-year market cycles, and then you'll have mainstream media that will, obviously they'll report on the new Bitcoin price or whatever, 100k, etc., etc. But then when it dips, it's like the end of the world in the media, isn't it? It's like 10% drop in a day, end of Bitcoin, and it's like, who writes these articles? It just really
Well,
annoys me, and it annoys me because
they want it to fail because it's the people's power, it's the people's money. It's
it just detracts people from coming into the space though, because
yeah,
the cryptocurrency markets and the traditional markets are completely different because one's 24/7, one's 5 days a week. But the way
9
they
to
behave
5.
is the way they behave is completely different as well. Like the ups and downs, the market cycles. There are similarities, obviously, but it's completely different. And the people that kind of do the research, or sorry, the financial people from the mainstream media that look at it, they're just using like a different lens looking at it. They don't understand how it works, do they? It's
They don't. To them, it's just like Ponzi. They don't understand it. Just about any traditional finance person just can't get their head around it. But the reason they can't get their head around it isn't because they don't have the intelligence to. It's because they don't want to believe that something can actually rock the financial bedrock of the world and do something different, which is exactly what cryptocurrency and blockchain is doing.
yeah,
It's gonna rock the financial world. And when companies do migrate to the blockchain, assuming they use a proper blockchain system, they're not going to be able to commit fraud like they do now. They can't delete anything. They can't just tweak the spreadsheet or just tweak that block. I need to go back and like change it, make it look more profitable. It's like it's impossible for them to do that.
Yeah, that's what makes me laugh when people are like, "Oh, it's a way to hide money and drug money and all this stuff." It's like it's actually fiat is so much easier to hide.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why the banks and the governments want to have their own centralized digital banking currency, CBDC or something. It's like the UK are already now looking at creating their own.
yeah,
And the reason for that is, well, if everybody's having to use the blockchain, I mean, we will know it's on the blockchain, but most of the people in the UK won't even know they're using the blockchain. We're just having a card which does payments, and it's called I don't know, True Great British Pound, for example, is the currency. They just think they're spending it, but what they don't realise is every single thing they spend or pocket money they give to their family member, or when you're paying for your mate to do your car for you, it's all going to be a back office system, which is blockchain. Everything will be on it. So if they ever wanted to say, check all the money that's gone in and out of this person's account, well, you can't hide because they might have scrapped cash by then, like 20 years' time. some companies, I think like, I don't know if it's Sweden or Denmark or somewhere like that, one of those countries in that area, maybe Norway, they've pretty much scrapped like almost
Money
all
laundering.
cash.
Money laundering will go. You won't be able to do it.
Yeah. As I think that's where the privacy coins come in, like Monero.
Yeah.
But they, like, I don't think Bitcoin will get outlawed, but privacy coins, like if you're investing in a privacy coin for long term, they probably have the biggest risk of being outlawed with regulations because the government don't want you to be able to hide. Even though it's your like right to have privacy, the fact is that those coins or blockchains would naturally be used by people who want to hide money launder. So I'm sure there's a bounty to be able to crack Monero. So I think the US government have literally put out a bounty that if you can crack Monero and trace a wallet, like
we'll reward you.
Yeah. So it's going to happen eventually.
Wow.
It's like how long did it take them to crack an iPhone security?
Oh yeah.
In an FBI case.
Yeah.
So it will happen eventually, and when it does, that could spell disaster for privacy coins. But that's just my thought on privacy coins. I don't own any, but it's interesting.
So your main tips, not financial advice, is obviously CEL.
Buy CEL, buy MATIC, buy RV.
And what if people are thinking of getting into, if they see on Twitter Shiba, Doge?
Don't ask him about Shiba. He's in it.
Yeah.
Pump Shiba. Let's
pump it. Put your life savings in. Probably go up by December, right? Nah, don't really. I think if you're gonna buy any shitcoin, especially if you're new, just literally when people say only invest what you're prepared to lose, like you should be prepared to lose your money basically.
That's the best. Especially some of the best advice I've heard is that can we have like most opinion of CEL? I see CEL everywhere.
It's not a bad project, but the problem is it's the prices are very speculative, in my opinion, right now, all based on news and no product. But there is products in the work for it, from what I've seen.
Sounds like Cardano you're talking about here.
No. CEL is probably XRP, but on steroids in terms of what it can do. So it's a payment system for banks and people who want to send money from one continent to another, and it stops them from having to pay ridiculous banking fees. From what I've read, anyway, the reason he asked is because me and my friend have a bet on whether CEL or TEL will hit 10 billion market cap first. So, I mean, I think CEL will win, but because the price of TEL is so low, it's going to be more attractive for the masses because, it's only 5 cents if it gets to a dollar. Yeah. That's 20x. Whereas CEL for 20x has to get to 100. Well, no, 140 now, based on the price of where it is now.
Yeah.
Which isn't not doable, but I don't know if I was new entering, everybody who's new entering the market is looking for that low cap gem.
Yeah, the 100x.
Yeah, exactly. And those opportunities are like very few and far between.
Is part of you looking forward to the bear market so that all this shit just disappears?
No.
We'll be on a beach.
It's going to be a different game in the bear market. We're going to be looking for the bottom, but the thing is, like, we need people to experience getting burned. Who people who've got in at the top of last cycle. The smart ones waited for this cycle to take profits. The people who didn't understand and had the fear sold at a loss, which was a lot of people, especially given the amount of FUD and all the rest of it. But this time, like people know, like it's on the news, like financial channels, that it does actually have these market cycles. So I think it's going to be an interesting bear market, and it's definitely going to lose value. But Is it going to lose value up to 80%? Nah, I don't think so.
We
Should be too
looked at
widely adopted.
we looked at the history of the bear market, and it was really interesting. Like the Ethereum chart. You'd be gutted if you came out of Ethereum because it literally tonked and it went down to like I think it was $180 or something. Yeah, you'd
Maybe
be
even less.
devastated looking at it now. Yeah, it'd be less. You'd be devastated now if all that like 3-4 years ago you just went, nah, Ethereum's going to the bottom. I'm out. I'm all out.
Yeah.
Then you see where it is. You see where it's heading now.
A lot of people have though.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're probably buying back in right now. Like, fuck it, it's gonna go up without doing much research. But like for the next bear market, the biggest challenge for people like us is: are we going to do streams? Still, are we still going to try and educate people?
What we're going to talk about?
Well, yeah, exactly. Just everything going to shit, and then. But at the same time, we should be talking about which projects are you stacking and why. And if something's just tanked and it's a good project, you should be like, that's what I'm buying this week. Because the way for everybody to make life-changing money for the next cycle is to literally take the pay slip every month and put whatever they can afford into the best altcoins at the lowest prices.
Yeah.
And a certain amount in the Bitcoin as well and Ethereum.
You've got to have that 4 or 5 year strategy, haven't you?
It is, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I saw. Have you seen Jeff on Twitter? One of the Celsians. He's just become like a millionaire.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Celsius balance, yeah.
Is he 26 or something?
Yeah, 27. Yeah,
27.
I think. And he's been investing since like 4 years ago, which would be 2017. So he's basically been buying every single month Bitcoin, Ethereum, and CEL. With the belief that he knows what's coming, and like you have to have that belief because if you don't, there's no way you can do that.
Yeah, I saw a guy on Twitter, and he said he literally put $100 a month for so many years. I think it was something like 18 months back, and he got to 1.5 Bitcoin just by putting $100 a month in. Maybe over a 2-year period, and he said it wasn't even much, but by the time it just kept stacking up because he's just dollar cost averaging in.
That's how you do it.
But
absolutely, like I've stopped averaging in now. I don't want to like keep adding because we're so far through the bull run.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm just gonna let it all roll,
play out,
get the weekly interest from Celsius, and then next bear market, hopefully I'll have cashed out enough to then try and look for the bottom during the bear market and start averaging in as we approach the bottom and as we leave the bottom. Because sometimes we kind of like on the previous cycle we hit the bottom, then we kind of like just trundle along it slowly.
Yeah.
So there's no way, just like the top, you're not going to be able to get it right at that perfect time.
You're never going to know, are you? The very top and the very bottom. But as long as you have an idea of where it is roughly.
Yeah, you want to look for the 200-week moving average on Bitcoin. So that has never been breached. So when the prices hit the 200-week moving average on the charts, that's basically like the bottom indicator of the price. And it'll bounce off it or like go along it and then take off. So just remember that one key statistic for the bear market: 200-week moving average. This is one of the best indicators.
Nosy stuff.
What are your estimates for the CEL price token and your favourite projects?
I'm with you, mate. I'd take 2025 happily.
Yeah.
I think in the middle. I said at the top end of what you said, $50, I think.
Yeah, I think they're all realistic. Like, and what about Cardano? Do you both own Cardano?
I used to. I just don't like the guy, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
He just comes across as very arrogant and
he's very divisive.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. I mean, I'm in CEL, Swissborg, Bitcoin, obviously.
How is your Swissborg doing? I do see you tweet about it. I saw one of you tweet a dump or something last week on the price.
All-time high incoming.
Yeah, it reached its all-time high. I predicted he'd get to $5. I think he'll still get to that.
Yeah.
I think it's about 95 cents or something, 96 cents, maybe the dollar range. I can't remember exactly what it's around.
Yeah, that sounds
About
doable.
125, 130.
Sometimes with prices, it's hard because I obviously have my CoinGecko in British pounds. So
Yeah.
sometimes talking about
You want
prices, you get confused with what's
you
dollars
want
and
you
what
want to just
is.
set it to dollars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You get used to it eventually.
yeah,
Because basically it's all crypto is priced in dollars first, then pounds or then euros.
yeah,
So the price of the asset is basically whatever the price of the dollar is, and then the conversion of like the dollar to pound ratio or the dollar to euro
yeah,
ratio.
yeah,
That's how they kind of get priced. So and it's easier to understand where the resistances are because if $1 is the resistance,
yeah,
well, the resistance for the pound will be like 71
yeah,
pence.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's, but
I
it's,
need your opinion on Cardano, Blackie, because we've done a few discussions about it, and I think it'll be $2 before long. There's the Alonso hard fork coming in August, I think. That's when the contracts are coming, apparently, and then anything. I mean, it could do $4 to $5, I
if
think.
if these things and if the smart contracts come, then I can't not see how it doesn't reach like $4 or $5. And
Mm.
if they're live, no problem, and the nations of Africa or the First Nation of Africa are actively using the blockchain, and the projects which are starting on Ethereum migrate over, yeah, I can't see how we don't get to like $450.
That's the thing, though, right? So Ethereum has got the EIP 1559 coming in July 14, I think. If that all goes swimmingly, doesn't it kind of screw Cardano's plans in a big way, or not?
No, it's more likely to screw MATIC's plans
Right.
because it's obviously if Ethereum can scale and reduce the gas fees,
Yes.
then there's less of an incentive to move on to the Polygon chain.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
it has to achieve like massive upside in terms of its scalability and in its gas fees. And if the gas fees are still high, so like if the speed is faster but the gas fees are still about just a little bit cheaper than what they are now, and Matic is still gonna go because it's got its own ecosystem growing. And if it's cheaper to get into Matic,
Mm.
and Matic is still faster than Ethereum,
Mm.
then it makes sense. If it's even cheaper to get in there, like a lower gas fee. So it might be complementary, but I would say yeah, it's one of the biggest risks over L2 solutions and scalability for Matic. But the Cardano, it's a competitor, but it's being deployed in Africa. So like they are
But they,
literally
surely, I know the first there, aren't they? But it's going to take some years, I think, to see to bear fruit.
no, because I think they're going live in one of the nations already. Like
Okay.
as soon as their smart contracts are up,
Mm.
like people like us can use the products. And yeah, if 2.0 is a new chain, but
Mm.
I don't think the upgrade that was just mentioned is on Leaf 2. It's an upgrade of the current chain. Is that right?
yeah. I think so. Yeah,
The
Mm.
EIP. Yeah. So the
Yeah.
scalability upgrade is on the current Ethereum chain, so not on 2.0.
Okay.
But Cardano, if you could do things on Cardano and it's cheap and there's good projects on there, then some people will migrate across to it. But ultimately, the First Nation of Africa, I can't remember which one it is, but they're going to be able to use it.
Is it
Ethiopia,
Ethiopia?
yeah, I think it is. Yeah, so their population is going to be open to using it and start using it 100%. I've actually got a project called Cards. Rutes, who commented, actually told me about it. And that is currently trading. This is not financial advice.
Hmm.
try and find it.
Trading like $52. I think I got mine around 35. So it's
What's
kind
it
of like
called?
up. Card starter. So it's basically a launch platform for projects on Cardano, but because they don't have smart contracts yet, it's on the Ethereum blockchain. Basically, because it's going to be two things: a launch pad for projects. It's also going to have a decentralized exchange built into it as well on the Ethereum blockchain. And then as soon as Cardano is live with smart contracts, this will move. Yeah, and so there's already projects that are launching through this on Ethereum for Cardano. So like we're actually seeing, so some of the demand essentially on Ethereum is actually not going to stay on Ethereum because we're already seeing
it's there
projects
because
are getting prepared.
Because of Cardano.
Yeah, so the projects are already getting prepared on Ethereum for as soon as Cardano goes live,
which is August.
Assuming it's successful, yeah, which is August, and then the nation of Africa will be using some of the solutions, and anybody else who wants to. So for me, it's like Cardano, you shouldn't not have like. So
it should be part of your portfolio. You
exactly,
think?
Yeah. You have to have Bitcoin. If you don't, you're stupid because Bitcoin's eternal. It'll still be here in 100 years no matter what.
You're stupid.
It is true. Everybody should own a little bit of Bitcoin.
If you're watching this and you don't have Bitcoin, we're sorry.
Yeah, you have to have some. You have to have some. You just
I agree.
Put it in somewhere like a hard wallet or Celsius Network if you want to earn interest, and just have it earn interest for the rest of your life until you retire. Because no matter what, the Bitcoin is always going to be, and Ethereum will likely always be as well, but Bitcoin will always definitely be. So you have to have Bitcoin, and you have to have a smart chain, at least two, because you don't know which one's going to be the best one. So, Ethereum is a must-have, and then you choose between Cardano and DOT or MATIC. Even though MATIC's a side chain, which would get deployed on top of any of them to help it scale in the future.
Not BNB then.
No, not for me. I don't like Binance.
No,
they're a necessary evil to crypto. Is what I believe Binance are. They have all of the projects on there, which is good. They charge fees. They make a shitload of money, which is like good for them. And they have everything in the highest trading volume, which is good for us. But they are a bit like scammy, in my opinion. They just want to make money out of all of us. Period. As much money as they can get away with. So,
see, I think I'm going to use the next 3-4 years. I might build up Cardano. I might build up my ADA in the next 3 or 4 years because I think come 2024, 25, it could be a significant. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like in the next bear market, Cardano's going to get hit probably harder than Ethereum because there won't be enough demand on it to stop it from plummeting as much as like Ethereum did last time.
Crypto for a birthday, 10-year-old. I'd get Cardano actually. We're just talking about it, but I don't buying now isn't probably the right time, is it, Blackie? You just touched on it. Then we're so far into the bull run.
Yeah,
I'd put it on a hardware wallet. Stick it on a Trezor.
Yeah, you can do that, or I can't Coinbase wallet.
Yeah,
Coinbase wallet. But that I don't believe you need ID for that. It's a non-custodial hot wallet. I'll have to check, but basically, you can use non-custodial hot wallets, and you can probably send her the Ethereum. But exchanges and like Celsius apps and stuff, you need to be 18 years old and have.
Was Elron just mentioned then? Is it Elron?
Yeah, EGLD, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know much about that one. I know one of the smarter guys in the Celsius community who's been in financial markets for a long time. He likes that one.
Yeah.
Which side is that? The Elron one?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mate was on there talking about it.
So that app, the question is, do you need KYC? If it's for a 10-year-old daughter, you need a hot wallet, which doesn't require know your customer.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they can't. They won't be able to get an exchange and whatnot.
I think you're right. I think the Coinbase Wallet Pro, from memory, I didn't need to enter any details for that. I don't think. I think it just
Coinbase wallet.
Coinbase wallet.
Coinbase Pro's connected to your Coinbase account at the exchange
So
and hot wallet.
it's just called a Coinbase wallet.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like there's definitely some dodgy exchanges out there which don't require KYC.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think, but like, yeah, like I say, I think it's going to go from. I think it's going to do $4 or $5 this run, Cardano, and then it's probably going to drop back. It's going to probably drop back to maybe where we are now, around $1. Do you think?
Probably below.
Probably low. Okay.
Yeah, like if you think Bitcoin gets back to 50,000, well, everything else is going to correct harder. So definitely go below. And also, you want to like, you probably should average in still, because if we do have a super cycle, which isn't definite, but if we do, then the super cycle might carry us through to the next halving, and the bear market might only end up being like slightly down and sideways action, and like, so you have to hedge your bets. You have to dollar cost average in, stop at a certain point when you're happy with what you put in, and then let the market ride, and then just slowly average into the dips as we come back down. Because if we are in a super cycle, it will stop at some point and it will go back up.
And still take profits at, get a figure in your head of, okay, if it's going to 10, take profits at 7, 8, 9, something like that.
Exactly,
as it goes up.
You have to. Like, we should always be taking profits on the really, like, on a regular. So, like, I'm going to take some profits July, and if everybody's in profit in July, then you should be taking just like 10% out of your overall portfolio, or 20%, whatever you want to take out, or your cost base, so there's no risk. And then I want to wait for October. I don't think September will be the end.
No.
Take some out in October, and then essentially scale out slowly from October onwards. Because obviously, every time you take money out of crypto, you're offsetting the potential reward of more. So that's why you never sell all of it. So say like 10% this month on that peak. Then next month, if you see a peak, okay, 10%. And if it goes up, that 10% is going up anyway, like the way it works. I think we are in a .com bubble. So, like, if the bubble pops, but the super cycle exists, the bubble will pop on all of the shit coins and all of the shit projects.
Yeah.
And then what will still be there in 2025 will be like the future.
Solid. It'll be solid
projects.
Yeah. It wouldn't be such a bad thing, in my opinion, because it's frustrating that there's so much money in absolute dog shit.
It'd be interesting to know if we could just get like a shitcoin overall market cap. Or a meme coin overall market cap.
That'd be like the majority of the 8,000 coins there are.
Probably. It's quite hard to find the good ones, but yeah. So you have to have the Bitcoin. You have to have at least 2 of the smart chains.
Push out the retard.
And then, in my opinion, you have to have some of the best projects where you can see a real life use case and how it creates value for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So for me, that's Celsius, TEL, possibly going to be the market leader in the remittance industry. You've got VeChain, which will be a market leader in its supply side of the industry. You've got MATIC, which has got several things. They have a gaming ecosystem on it. They have NFTs on it, and they have scalability on it, and possibly the Internet of Blockchains. So it's got a lot of applications for it in the future. You've got DOGE, which is going to be on forever. Everybody having a laugh. And then that was a joke. But
it's a really good point you made, though. When you're building up a crypto portfolio, you've got to have like tokens in different sectors of an industry.
Yeah, you do.
They do different things, and
don't have them all doing the same thing.
Yeah,
exactly. So you've got Aave, Compound Maker. They're like the 3 big ones in DeFi. three of the original movers. So my pick is Aave. In the yield industry, you've got Nexo, which is dodgy as fuck, CEL, and you've probably got Crypto.com and Swissborg. My choice is Celsius, so that's the yield covered off. Scalability and interoperability, I've picked MATIC because that's my massive preference. For data oracles, you've got Chainlink, you've got Band Protocol. I picked Chainlink because it's got a hard cap on its supply, whereas Band does not. So I prefer like a hard cap for the projects usually that I buy in. And then you're gonna have like a particular one that goes big in NFTs, a particular one which goes big in the gaming side. So there's a lot of different like disruption, emerging technologies within different industries. So you kind of want to pick the ones that you think best in each one. So if you bought Swissborg, Nexo, Crypto.com, and CEL token, like that's just a fucking waste of time because they're all competing with each other in the same space.
Yeah.
So you want to be picking the ones that you believe have got that niche within the niche, if you like. Which is another reason why I like MATIC, because if VeChain are used in the supply industry, or MATIC are also big on NFTs, and NFTs can be used in the supply industry as well. So, and I saw something from last year about them having a contract with the Egyptian government for supplies coming in and how it's all going through their chain. So, yeah, so you just got to look at them all in each sector and just think, right, I think that one's the best, and I want to back that one and ignore the competition. But and Theta as well. I think there's another project out which is against Theta in the streaming industry, which is really interesting. So, and I mean, Theta was the only one doing streaming last year, so I was kind of like, yeah, why not? It's the first business in the world doing what it does, and it's doing it successfully. So like, there's loads of great projects out there. So I think I think sometimes when you first start in the space, you can be like a little bit of a maxi, like a Bitcoin maxi or ETH maxi, but ultimately, 10 years from now, so many of these projects will still be here, providing use cases that if you're a maxi of any particular thing only, you're just limiting yourself to the potential wealth that you could accumulate from all of these different things.
I've touched on that before, actually. I just think that if you're in this space, don't be a maxi because you're going to miss opportunities in all sorts.
Yeah. Definitely.
You really will. In the yield sector, I'm definitely a CEL maxi. I'm happy to say that. but I'm not. But I will.
Are you married to your CEL token?
No. Like, you know, I'm here. I'm in Celsius for the next 10 years, probably the rest of my life. Like,
well, you just use it as your bank, won't you?
Yeah, exactly. I want to use it as my ecosystem, and if I'm taking all my profits back to the bank, then I'm not showing much confidence in the fact that I want to live on the blockchain in a sense in the future. So, like, if I make profits in crypto or with CEL token, the profits aren't going elsewhere. They're staying in the ecosystem. So you got to look at it like this. Yeah. If you convert some CEL tokens into stable coins next week, you've just doubled the buyback power of the wall. Because if it's earning 5% interest, the price doesn't go up, so you convert it to stable coins. Well, the following week, you're earning double. Yeah. So then when the CEL price doubles, the interest you're earning would be equal. It's only when the CEL price gets past what you cashed out at, like once it goes past the double. So once it gets to triple, for example, you're earning less interest on your stable coin. But when you first cash out, you're actually earning more interest.
Yeah.
So you've got to try and figure out that balance of when, like sell it $3 and $2. Like for me, that's just insanity to cash out at that point in time.
Yeah.
If you're looking to use it for like passive income, but when it gets to $50, for example, you have to think, right, if I still earn 8, 9, 10% on my stable coin, and sells at $50, and if you think it's going to take a year for it to get to 100. Then it would make sense to convert some to the stable coin to increase the monthly yield.
Yeah.
So that's the way you have to like look at those platforms. But I noticed like, so that's my biggest holding because I believe in the business, and it's probably one of the better ones in the space for like humanitarian, like helping average people make more from the money, like long term. But I like Chainlink, I like Vita, I like RV, I like MATIC, I like Cardano. So yeah, I haven't stopped myself from, integrating with other communities and learning because there's so much to learn. That's the best thing about it.
It's constantly changing as well, isn't it?
So, as we wrap up, if you could give one piece of advice each to people in this market, what would it be? Apart from if you don't have Bitcoin, you're stupid.
It'd be buy Ethereum, second best option. So that you're not stupid.
I love that. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt.
I would say if you're in the market now, piece of advice would be just keep it simple with around max 6 to 7 cryptos, because in a bull market everything moves really fast and you can't keep up with the amount of news. If you have 10, 15, 20, it's just too much, and if something's dropping because of some news, you don't know. So my advice would be pick your coins you're going to get into, or your crypto, 6 or 7, stick with them, make sure you do research on them, and then keep them until you get to the point where you're going to average out with them. Because if you've got 15 or 20 and you're trying to keep up with them all, you won't be able to. It's just too much, especially if you got all the communities on Twitter as well. You'll just never be off it.
Oh yeah. If you're on Twitter, if you're on crypto Twitter, you'd end up with 50, 60 coins, wouldn't you?
No,
if you were.
It's kind of like the best. It's one of the best places for research as well. That's the problem.
It can be.
You've got
Yeah.
the Medium articles, but you can just go on Twitter, put in the ticker, and you'll see a load of tweets about it. And you can ask somebody about it. They'll send you a link, and then fuck me, you've opened up a whole new rabbit hole. But yeah, just on what
I love like when you someone will put something out there, like, and then it just follows like shilling. So like CZ will like tweet, and then everyone underneath it will just be shilling the crap out of. There'll be like 100 different coins under his original tweet.
It's mad. Like I look at that sometimes and think, fucking hell, I used to be that person.
Yeah.
Every single day, like, fucking buy this coin, it's mint. And then like, and now it kind of like, I've kind of like gone through that phase. I'm like, well, yeah, buy some cells, good talking, but I'm like, fucking hell.
Young pups,
I'm so much more mature in the crypto space now that I can like think more widely. And then you see all of these new people entering the space with the favorite coin, doing the exact same thing you did like 6 months ago, and like, I don't know, it's just funny how it repeats. And it is good to see. It's definitely funny. And I do the occasional one sometimes. Like, I'll just put the referral down and say, look, give this a go. But yeah, I try to avoid doing that anymore. But stick basically, like you said, 6 or 7. My advice would be maximum of 5, no shit coins, and just keep it to the safest. If you're new, just keep it to the safest ones. Like Bitcoin and Ethereum and CEL for me are the safest ones, because it's impossible for them not to succeed in my. I mean, CEL can definitely fail compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum because it's a business, whereas Bitcoin and Ethereum pose no bankruptcy risk. Like, it's no business owns them. They're decentralized. That's the power of decentralization, that it's not a business, so they can't go to zero. So stick to Bitcoin and Ethereum being the 2 safest, and then pick 3 of your favorite projects that are going to be the more well-known projects, not some little shitcoin. Something that you can see being here in 10 years' time, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And finally,
good advice.
Crypto Boomer, any final advice?
You're asking me for advice, Jesus. We're
scraping
we're scraping the barrel here.
He's had a few lessons this week from self-experience.
Yeah, my advice is to don't do what I did. Nah, but the way I try and do my buying now is it is just buying on the dips. Spending, the dollar cost averaging is a good way of doing it as well. What I do is I get my payday and then I literally just like, instead of going, all right, I'll pay all your bills. And then it's like, right, what have you got left for the month? And then I keep that back for like big, like, I don't know, 15, 20% plus. Yeah, the big dips, not the 2%, not the 3%. I wait for the big dips on the projects that I believe in. And then that's how then the money I've set aside for that is when I go in.
Best way to do it. And then you have to also be prepared that if the dip doesn't come, then that's fine. It's fine to miss out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because they will come. They come. It's just when, isn't it? And you just keep that money back for that day.
Do you put your money in the exchange ready? Like, so it's already there, or do you wait? Because if it's in the exchange,
it's quicker, isn't it?
It's quicker, yeah. You don't have to wait for the bank transfer and stuff.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
No, you're not going to like this, but I use Swissbot because it's instant for me, and Binance is instant for me as well. Actually, it's not bad. It's just straight away. Bang.
Are you using a card purchase like?
It goes straight from my bank, so it's my bank details are already stored on the apps.
Have you turned off the light mode on Binance?
So it's dark mode.
No, light mode, like beginner's mode.
Pro or begin. It's on. I think it is on light.
You turn it off. You need to check. Like, you might get it at the correct price, but the way you're doing it, you need to check that if you're buying,
the price jumps.
Yeah, the price doesn't jump. They just charge you a markup on it. But they don't add it on. They do it by giving you less tokens. It's a hidden fee. So you have to learn to do the actual trading on the exchange part of the apps, because you do the bank transfer and then you do the actual trade, and you're only losing the trade fee of like 0.2% or 3% or whatever. But this guy from Scotland I was chatting to on Twitter yesterday. He said, "Oh, how are you getting MATIC for 84 cents?" I was like, "On Binance, mate." He was like, "Yeah, I'm on Binance. He's trying to sell me it for like $1.09. So he was trying to buy MATIC through the conversion part of the app with BuzzD, with their dollar coin. And because he was using the converter, it was marking up by like 10% or something. So you're losing 10% of the coin without realizing. So like, I don't know how long he's been using the conversion, but there's a risk there that it might be losing like 5% or something all the time without realizing. And people don't realize this when they first move into the space.
See, that's why Binance dodgy.
They are, mate. Skanks. But they're all the same, like Coinbase Pro. The same thing happens on Coinbase. They get you with them hidden fees. Kraken Pro, same account, but Kraken will hit you with a hidden fee. Do it on Pro, you're doing it at the exchange. So something to keep in fact, probably if anybody new to the market, learn how to do a trade and a bank transfer. Never pay on debit card ever. You get fees on top, or hidden fees.
So there you go. Well, cheers for joining me, guys.
No problem.
Hopefully see you both very soon. Plenty more videos coming your way on the channel, and we'll see you all very soon.